share the content with you all. I hope my screen is visible. Is my screen visible? Can someone confirm?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you so much. Okay, thanks for the brief introduction, ma'am. And sir, thanks for this opportunity as well on behalf of Turnitin. So, my basic role is to guide and give a pathway for using Turnitin across South Asian markets and South Asian customers. So, today's session, I'll be talking about academic integrity. What are the best practices that you can make use of Turnitin, and how V2 Consortium is providing this tool to all the PG institutions across Karnataka. So that would be the major agenda for today. Anyhow, we're not using Zoom, but yeah, please keep your microphones muted. And if you have any questions, please feel free to drop it in the chat box, or you can ask any questions at the end of the session. Also, there's no issues with that as well. So the learning objectives for today, I would talk about plagiarism. What are the academic misconduct that you can face with respect to plagiarism, and if you would like to recognize any similarities, you can find out that. And how do you avoid plagiarism? Let's speak about that also. And utilizing Turnitin as a formative tool, which helps you to give better results today. So, because VTU is having this strict policy right now. It might be projects, it might be theses, they have certain policies. UGC also certain policies are there. So I'll talk about all these things, which helps you to identify similarity of your work with anyone else. See, all the time we might think that we have written on our own, we have not copied with anyone, but there might be some other student, some other faculty, some other research scholar who has worked in the same subject area or some same research area. So due to avoiding the plagiarism, you need to have the similarity check for that. So how Turnitin is going to help you, how you can share your feedback and other things, I'm going to talk about that also. There is something called as Turnitin Feedback Education Program. I'll share the link with the concerned persons. Post this session, you can enroll this will have a 10-week training program for you. In case if someone is interested, especially for faculties, it would be really useful for you all. If I talk about plagiarism defined, according to Merriam-Webster Online Dictionary, if you steal or pass off someone's ideas or work, it will lead to plagiarism. To use this without giving any credit also will lead to plagiarism. It is something kind of literacy theft for everyone. I copy someone, I need to acknowledge it. It might be citations, it might be references, it might be footnotes, whatever it is. The moment you copy, please have this cited. That's not, if not, you will be going through the consequences. To present any new or original idea about the product, it's quite necessary for that as well. So when you speak about academic integrity, a lot of six comments are there. If I talk about six fundamental values, these are the commendable things that you need to follow. One is trust, responsibilities, fairness, courage, respect, and honesty. Trust and honesty is very important. The moment you copy, please give an acknowledgement to that. If not, anyone can sue us anywhere. So that's one thing. So whenever you start your research, these days, just the workaround will never help. We need to publish articles also. It might be Elsevier, it might be IEEE. So the best advice is start early. If you are a PhD scholar also, you need to start your research quite early. And if you are able to have that journey started early, you will go through a lot of hurdles. It's a journey for academic integrity where you need to avoid plagiarism, think something out of the box and write on your own. So that leads to some kind of cheating also, which you should avoid. And consequences of plagiarism can be avoided by avoiding that. So that's very important. So if you are able to do that, there is effective time management, which is very important for avoiding plagiarism. At the same time, you can offer guidance and researchers for the writing process. Guidance from your faculty and researchers is very important for publishing any documents. Whenever the students get into plagiarism, these are the primary areas why students get into plagiarism. They might run out of time and get into this plagiarism issue to improve mark, because it is always been told that if you replicate what is there in the references books or textbooks, whatever we call that, if we replicate the same text, then we can improve the mark. So when you do that, you will of course get into plagiarism. So that primary things has to be understood. The difference between plagiarism and text similarity is very important. Plagiarism cannot be identified by any software. No software in the world will tell you this is plagiarized content. Every software can tell you what is the similarity about it. Text similarity, how many ideas, what words have been copied. These things can be identified, not plagiarism. Okay, plagiarism cannot be identified by any tool in the world. So whenever you use Turnitin, why Turnitin is used, not any other tools? Because one of the biggest repositories in the world, about 72 to 84 billion web pages are covered, along with student papers, archive content, journals, publications, etc. So these things are there accordingly. The expected similarities, there are code similarities, there are references and citations. If you can see about, there is similarity exclusion over here. So anytime, any point of time, you can use these filters are very important. So filters, in UGC also there is filters that can be used. In VTO also there are certain filters that you can use. For one example is, codes can be excluded, references can be excluded. So this is very important. Okay, so if you see this example, on the left hand side there is no highlight, the same text on the right hand side are highlighted. So you can tell about expected similarities. The first one is essay question, is an expected similarity. The second one is citation. If you do wrong citation, it will get highlighted. That is one thing. And another part of citation is, if you're not excluding bibliographic materials, then citation also gets highlighted. Common facts, quotes, and other things also will show as similarity. If I talk about plagiarism spectrum, earlier we used to do Control C, Control V, copy paste. Now there are a lot of other methodologies people will copy to identify that. Turnitin has built up much better tools like this. So you will be able to identify whether there is mosaic plagiarism, where students have copied from multiple places like Elsevier, they've copied some text, Springer, they've copied some text. You will be able to identify all those things. Going ahead, you will be able to identify code plagiarism also, like any code language, any programming languages also. So, towards holistic support, how can we impact on academic integrity? If you ask me, understand the defined policy first. Uh, can everyone mute yourself if you don't mind? Thank you. So defined policy is very important. So understand what is WTO policies for projects. They accept only 5 words of exclusion in threshold of words, excluding bibliographic materials, excluding quoted materials, and the similarity acceptance rate is 25%. That's what WTO is all about. You can have a cross check about it. If I go to UGC norms, they have 10% of similarity acceptance, excluding bibliography materials, excluding quoted materials, and threshold of words is about 14 words there. So we need to know this defined policy very importantly, and you need to know the awareness has to be created among your student community. That's also very important. Educate the students about citing properly, academic integrity practices, and other things. Ultimately, if you have your own policies for your institution, you will be able to protect your values also. So that's why it is talking about these things. So these are very important. So what can I do with Turnitin? You can have three types of login. Administrator login. I think Bhaskar sir has the administrator rights, librarian. That's what V2 has provided access to administrators. So if any faculty wants login, you have to contact your admin with your first name, last name, and email ID. Once admin gives access to faculty, if faculty has to give access to any students, to or students needs an access, they need to give their first name, last name, and email ID to the student. I mean, to the faculty. So instructors, that is faculty, gets an access from administrator, student gets an access from instructor. As simple as that. If you talk about suggested workflow, first and foremost thing that faculty has to check is whether there is any flags. If there is any flags, stop doing your work, get back and do from scratch. If no, you can move to next option, that is search if there is any quotes and references. If the filter says you can use it, you can use it. If not, you can move back again, do that, because references are very important. And next is check for any other matches. If there is any other matches, what are those matches? Have I copied the title? What is showing similarity? You need to know that. I'll show you all those things. Providing grading and feedback. Right now, VTU has not provided this feature for you all, but this is one amazing feature. I'll talk about that. If any of your institutions are using any LMS, learning management systems, you will be able to integrate with Moodle, Blackboard, Sakai, whatever it is, you can do that. Whenever you see the similarity percentage, blue color will be in 0%. Anything with 1 to 24 will be in green. Anything between 25 to 49 will be in yellow. 50 to 74 will be in orange, and red is 75 to 100. So that's how it is, like danger and okay and other things goes on like this. So to put everything in practice, let me take you to the live platform. I'll make you understand what exactly the live platform looks like. So I'm just logging in with my email ID and password. It is www.turnitin.com. The moment you log in, you will log into your homepage. Student will be seeing their student login. Administrator will be seeing their administrator login. This is the homepage of administrator, and whereas the instructor will be seeing their homepage in instructor login. So whichever category that you belong, you will be able to see that. For me, I'll be able to see all three because I have a master account. Right now, what you're seeing is administrator login, where admin gives access to faculties. They go to instructor tab, they click on add instructor, and they'll add instructor by their first name, last name, and email ID. That's it. And now faculty gets an access and they'll be able to see. So whatever document sharing happens, it is between faculty and one student only. No other person gets to see that. For example, even administrator will not be able to see that. So you need to have that in mind. Okay, so that's very, very important. So instructor login is quite important, so you need to create a login with this. If anyone doesn't have access, VTU has given unlimited access. You can check any number of documents, no need to worry about it. So you please take access from Bhaskar sir. Please contact the librarian to get the access. You just give your first name, last name, and email ID. The moment you give it, you will get an email that is faculty or lecturers, professors. They'll get an email from no reply at turnitin.com. The moment you open that email, they will be showing something called as create password. The moment you create your password, you will be able to log in. This is this page. Once you come to this page, you will be able to see the existing classes, if any, but no, you will not be able to see any existing classes because you are getting your login for the first time. So first name, last name, and email ID, when you have given, you get an email from no reply at turnitin.com. The moment you come on this page, there is something that you have to do is something called as add class here on the right hand side. Faculty has to do this activity. Without faculty doing this activity, no student will get an access. Okay, so this is very, very important. This is very primary thing that anyone should do it. So please keep this in mind. This is very important. There are two types of classes that can be created. One is standard class. The other one would be called as master class. So here it is master class. So standard class or master class, anything can be created. If I create standard class, I will create a class and I'll check my student documents. If I create master class, I can have a teaching assistant also. So both the things are feasible. Anything that you want to do it, you can do it. Now I'm clicking on standard class. I can give something called as RRCE, ECE, Electronics and Communication Engineering 2021-22 batch. Okay, this subject area that I'm handling is FE. I've kept it as field theory. Okay, then I come to enrollment key. I give it as 1 2 3 4 5 6. That's the password to the class. This is very, very important. Password to the class is also very important. So you need to have this class name and enrollment key. Then comes subject area. So you need to give the subject area here. If I keep engineering, you can choose engineering. If you want to have any other subject area, you can choose in this list. If your subject area is not reflecting, you can choose it as other. So all these visibilities are there. You can pick it up accordingly. Then choose the student level also. Either it is grad, undergrad, postgrad, whatever it is, you can choose it accordingly. Depending on the student level, I am choosing the student level also. Then there is start date and end date. You can choose the start date, which is the start date of the assignment. When is the end date of the class? This is not even assignment, this is class here right now. So for example, 1 year the class will be existing. I've kept it till Let's take it as June 2022. This class will be there. I've kept it till 30th June 2022. So this is how it works. So class creation is the first step that every faculty has to do. Once the class is created, and if this login ID and password is shared with, or this enrollment key and class ID is shared with students, student can enroll themselves. Now you can see here RRCE, ECE 2021-22 field theory is there. The moment I click on this, now also I cannot check any documents. I need to add assignment. If I click on add assignment, it gets assignments created where you can use all the filters. Let it get generated. Now you can give the assignment title here. If I speak about assignment title, I can do something here which is very, very key. I can give June assignment, I can give July assignment. Let me give July test also, test 2021 batch. Okay, if I want to do that, I'll do that. You don't have point value option. I have a master account, that's why it is reflecting for me. But if it is reflecting for you, you can measure the students with 100 points, 25 points, whatever it is, you can do it. Then there is start date of the assignment, then there is due date of the assignment. Due date is something which will be at the before what date the student assignment gets accepted. That is the due date, before what date. So I've kept it till 31st July. Then there is post date where it is feedback. You don't have this option right now, you can ignore it. After doing this, please select optional settings. Most of the students, they will, I mean, faculty will skip this, but you have to do it. You can give all the instructions here. For example, instruction one, I'll do like this. Then if I have to give any instructions like APA format of citation only, I'm telling that APA format of citation only can be given. So that is the only citation that gets accepted, is what I'm telling the students. It doesn't auto check, it is an information to the students. Allow submission after due date. If I say yes, after the due date also submissions gets accepted, but I'll keep it as no. Generate similarity report for submission. If I say yes, reports gets generated, similarity report gets generated. If I say generate similarity report for student submission, there is immediately can overwrite until due date. First report is final on due date. So three options. First report is final, only one submission student can do. Can overwrite until due date. There are multiple submissions students can do. On due date, the report gets generated only on the due. Whichever is okay for the faculty, they should select that. Then comes bibliographic materials. If faculty selects yes, all the bibliographic content gets excluded. For example, if I say that citations, references, work cited, all has to be excluded, I can choose this option. All the bibliographic materials gets excluded. Then comes quoted materials. If I choose yes here, all the quoted materials gets excluded. What do you mean by quoted materials? All the references, which is quoted, double quoted materials. So it is not references. Basically, standard statements, definitions are quoted in double quotes. For example, if I say Newton's law is used in my document, I cannot give any references for that. I cannot give any citation to it. I quote it in double quotes. That is called as quoted material. So anyone can use quoted materials, but to the specific statements or definitions only. Then comes exclude small sources. If I say yes, there is word count or percentage count. If I give 5 words, it will go to 5 words. If I give 10 words, it will give to 10 words. So whatever is feasible, it is feasible. That is up to you, but you have to follow the norms. So only if you say yes, it will come. If it is publications under IEEE, Springer, Wiley, you need to know what is the journal norms. Every publisher has something called as publication recommender. If you go there, if you give your abstract, it will tell you which journal to publish, which conference to publish. There you will be able to identify it, what is the word count, and you can set the word count accordingly. Allow students to see similarity. If I say yes, student can also see their similarity report. That's the option that you can give it to all the students. Then there is enable translated matching. If you say this yes, right now we have not given this to VTU, but if you get this option, if you say yes, if the student has copied from Chinese, Japanese, French, any Arabic or any international language, you will be able to see the similarity for that also. So that feasibility is also there, which is called as translated matching. Enable anonymous marking. If I say yes, you will not be able to see the student's name, but this option is not there. You can ignore. Submit papers to, you get only two options: standard repository, no repository. Always choose no repository. Faculty has to do the settings. Then search options, everything has to be selected. You don't have online grading, ignore it. You have ETS rater to check grammatic mistakes. If you say yes, all the grammatic mistakes can be checked. Then you can choose both US and UK dictionaries. Because we are non-English speaking countries, we follow both. You can choose this. And also spelling, first time it will be deselected. Select this checkbox so that it checks spellings also. If there is any spelling mistakes, it will show you. Then if you want to do the same settings for future assignment, you can select this option and click on submit. So this is very simple right now. This is how you do it. This is how you set it. Once you do the settings and everything, you will be able to do any kind of submissions. There is something called as view option here. The moment you click on view, you will be able to submit any documents as a faculty also. So when I click on submit here, it will ask for first name, it will ask for last name. You can give the submission title here. I am keeping it as test. Then I can choose from computer, Dropbox, or Google Drive. Or you can choose single file upload, multiple file upload, cut and paste, and zip file. Please note, all the settings has to be done by faculty at least for the first time. Because I'm explaining, it is taking some time. But if it is multiple times, so for example, first time you are doing, it takes a lot of time. But when you start doing, it will hardly take 1 or 2 minutes for the faculty. Choose from computer. Let me upload some document here. Upload. Faculty is doing this upload. Even students can do the upload. I'll show the student interface also accordingly. Now you can see how many word counts are there, how many page counts are there, what is the file size and everything. The moment I click on confirm, go to assignment inbox. Within few minutes, you will be able to see the percentage of similarity here. As simple as that. Any number of uploads can happen. Now again, one more student's upload if I have to do, I can click on submit. I can give another student's name and I can upload. So any student's document can be uploaded. Now for example, see, now the similarity percentage already came in already. Within few seconds, you will be able to see the percentage. Now if the student has to upload, how does it do? Class is created, assignment is created. Now if student is going to do it for the first time, faculty has to give access to students. One way is click on student tab here, click on add student, give first name, give last name and email ID of the student. Student will get an access. If all student has to be given access in one go, click on upload student list and upload the whole list to do it. So more info, there is column A, column B, column C. Upload the complete list of students. Up to 99 students can be given access in one go. So you have both the feasibilities. You can give one student at a time or multiple students. If you don't have time for it, just give this class ID and enrollment key to the student. What student can do it, I'll show you. If they can go there to Turnitin website, if it is first time, they'll go to Turnitin website. And they'll click on login. They'll click on new user. If they're using it for the first time, they'll choose student here. They'll give the class ID given by the faculty, enrollment given by the faculty. They give their first name, last name, they create their own password, they'll enroll themselves. For example, now any faculty has already given class and assignment. Now one more faculty wants to give there. Then the student will just log in with their email ID and password because they are already using Turnitin. They'll come to here. You can see here in this whole list, there is no RRCE. The student will click on enroll in a class. They will give the class ID of the faculty given and the enrollment key. Now you can see RRCE ECE is reflecting. Now the student will click on the class. Student will go to the info and they will be able to read the instructions given. So we gave instruction one APA format of citation only, that is reflecting, and other kinds of instructions are also there. The student will click on submit. He or she cannot change the name. They'll give the submission title. They can choose either from any of these options. They'll choose from computer. Now they can upload any document. Let me upload one document. Within few seconds, this gets uploaded and it will be able to generate report, and you will, student can also see that report. Student can also download that report. It is taking some time. Okay, let it take some time. That's okay. Grade section will not be there because you don't have Turnitin Feedback Studio. Discussions tab will be there where you can discuss anything with your faculties as a student. Calendar facility is there to check which assignment is starting on what date, which assignment is ending on what date. Normally, it should not take this much time. Depending on your internet speed, it will take some time. I might be on the call, that's why it is taking some time. Depends on your internet quality also. So these are the things that you can do. But once you upload all the documents, once you see the report, the real scenario starts. How do you analyze that document? What is similarity percentage that is reflecting? How can you avoid plagiarism? Where you should put some efforts, where you should rewrite the sentence, all those things. Now let me click on confirm. So you can see here, the similarity percentage is getting processed. Once it gets processed, you will be able to see the percentage. Now there is resubmission option. Resubmit option is something when we created an assignment, we gave an option can be checked until due date. So that's why the student is getting multiple submission option. They can do 3 submission. After third submission, they have to wait 24 hours. Then again, resubmission starts for three times. Once that is done, again it keeps continuing. So there are completely a chain that can go until the due date. They can be checking those documents. Now let me go back to instructor account. Now student has submitted. Let's see how the student document is looking at instructor level. When I click on view, so the other one is getting percentage is getting generated. It will take some time. Now let's see what is this 46 percentage is all about. Is there any questions till now? I think I'm speaking monotonously on one side. If you have any questions, please feel free to open up. Or if you want me to take up the questions at the end, I'm okay to take up the questions at the end also. Okay, I think there's no questions. So on the right hand side, there is something in the red box. First and foremost thing, everyone has to see if there is any flags. If it shows flags, there is some hidden characters. So faculty can identify if there is any hidden characters, hidden text, all those things can be checked. If I check on 46, I'll be able to see the percentage of similarity from where the student has copied, that you will be able to identify. So see the first one, the student has copied from something called as IGERT. So when I click on it, it will tell me what text is copied. Wireless sensor network so and so is there. If I click on this full text view, that full text will open up on the right hand side. Now read this. Wireless sensor network consists of same text. What the student thought, if I replace some words in between, my whole sentence will be changed. No, synonyms changes will be only one word. If you rewrite something, that is paraphrasing. If you change something, that is something else. But only one word if someone changes, and if they think that the whole sentences can be changed and similarity will not be shown, that is wrong assumption. You need to have this understanding. Now let's take this example. Left hand side document is written by me, but I have not copied a single letter from anyone else, but this is showing us similarity. I'll be shocked. Now, when I read, this person on the right hand side has already published this article in LinkedIn. I mean, not on, I think somewhere. If I click on the source, let me see that source. So it is on IGERT. So here is the full text of this document. So the student copied from this source. So that's why it is showing. So if you have not copied also, sometimes the other author might be working in your subject area. That's why it is showing a similarity. So you need to have this idea very briefly, which is very important. So when you read this, how you rewrite it, how do you correct yourself, that plays a vital role. You can see lot of places the student has copied. So now here, this is citation, it should not show a similarity, right? So let's go to filter. Let's follow VTU norms. VTU says you can exclude bibliographic materials, you can exclude quoted materials. Threshold of words is, let's take 10 words only. And when I click on apply changes, it will apply changes. See, from 46 it came down to 35, just with the right settings. Now also it is not showing similarity for all the citations. That's very important. Always during the citations, please mention references on top. That's very important. So you will be able to see this. You will be able to see the filter section. And also when you click on ETS E-rater, it will tell you what are the grammatic mistakes also in this document. So grammatic mistakes is all about what mistakes you have done. Okay. So you will be able to see all these things, like prep in the sense preposition is wrong. You may need to use preposition. If you read it, you will be able to identify, like this verb is missing. Okay, missing R here. Okay. So all these things it will tell you accordingly, and if you can change anything that you can do. If faculty has feedback studio, they don't have right now in VTU, they can give comments also. Right now you can't do that. And this blue icons are not visible for you, so ignore it. So how do you download this document and share it with your students if you are not giving access to students? Very simple step. On the right hand side, you can see download options. There are three types of download. One is current view report, which gives in detail report. Then there is digital receipt, which will give you one page document. Original submitted file will give you the same old PDF or Word file. So whichever is feasible for you, you can get that. So let it get downloaded. So current view report is getting downloaded. Now let me choose digital receipt. So I'll show you how the current view report looks like. It's very important to download current view report. It gives you an option to view the report offline also. It's there in PDF format. You can see here what is the submission date, who is the file name, what is the characters, everything. So whatever is highlighted is similarity percentage, and you will be able to see the grammatic mistakes also. You will be able to see the total percentage also. This paper will get rejected if it is for VTU, because VTU says 25%. Now you are showing 35%. So we need to rewrite, rechange the paraphrases, sentence and other things, and then submit. It will also tell you, have you excluded quoted materials?
Sir,
Have you
actually, sir,
excluded?
excuse me.
Yes, sir.
Actually, sir,
Screen is not visible, sir.
your screen not, sir. Please check it.
My screen is visible. It is showing screen sharing is
No,
on.
no. Main screen is not coming, but a small side one is coming, sir. Check it.
Okay. Let me reshare again. Is my screen visible now? Is it
Yes, sir.
visible, sir?
Now it's visible. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Visible, sir.
So you
Okay.
can see all the percentages like this. So it will show you internet sources, how much has been copied from publication, how much has been from student paper. Don't add this. So what is there in internet might be there in publication, or vice versa, or in the student papers also. So student paper is something which is there in VTU repository or IIT repository, IISc repository. That's student papers. If they've copied from any other institution also, it will show matches. So you will be able to see all these things, and if the filters are right, good enough. So this way it works, the downloaded report. I'll show you one more is digital receipt, which will be one page document. It will look like this. One page, who is the author, what is the document title, what is the submission title, word count, character count, etc. That's it. Then there is one more option that you can download as, there is something called as text only report at the bottom. If some reports are very huge, you can download text only report, because sometimes people ask, I need Turnitin name on that. So this will give you HTML report. This is in the HTML format. So it will come like this. You will not get any brief about it. So you can click on download and click on OK. It gets downloaded. As simple. So whatever types of download you want to do it, you can do it accordingly. Please note, this blue icons are not there. You will get to see all these things. Always see your similarity match. When you click on this numbers, it will show you from which sources it is showing. Once you see this, you will be able to correct yourself by rewriting the sentence or paraphrasing or something which you can change yourself and rewriting. See, same thing cannot be repeated again and again, especially with some research work. So that's what we will be able to help you out. Now, sometimes what happens is you might think you have not copied, but there might be other authors who have already published in that subject area. So those things are really helpful, and those things can be identified very easily. So these are the things that you can do it accordingly. So if there is any questions, I'll be able to answer. There is for something else for the faculties. If students is trying to cheat on you by any other means, like using yeah, artificial characters or some replaced characters or something like that, I'll show you an example for that. When I click on view, we give you something called as caution sign like this. If we give you a caution sign and you move your cursor there, faculty will get this, Turnitin has flagged this paper for using unusual word patterns. If you get this option, please do not accept that file. Please ignore it. Maybe you can delete it, maybe you can ask for word file and upload, but do not accept these kind of. If we show flags, also the same thing. See, this Arvind word is 87%, but the Arvind PDF is 2%. If I click on this 87%, let me show you this document first. Chapter 1 introduction, project description, wireless sensor networks, blah 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 is there. If I open, this is 87% similarity. If I click on Arvind PDF, which is 2% of similarity, okay, you will be able to see the flags here, hidden characters. This is only 2%. Same chapter 1 introduction, project description, wireless. So when I click on hidden text, see the student has put I in every word, which in universe we have this word called I project I consists I several I, no word at all. But they have colored it white and they've hidden it in the PDF format. So that's why even the tool will identify all those things. So whenever you get your caution sign, move your cursor there. We give you caution sign for something else also. Like if you have excluded bibliographic materials, which is citations, references should not be checked for similarity, we give you a notification if more bibliographic content is there. Quotes also, if lot of double quotes are used, we give you quotes intimation also, double quotes. So we will let you know that quotes have been were used and lot of quotes have been used in this document. We get the notification for that also. So complete understanding would be there. Whichever is feasible for you, you can use it. By mistake, if any document is saved in repository, I said use no repository all the time. By mistake, if any document is saved in repository, you should share this paper ID to get it deleted. Once you share this paper ID, you can get it deleted from permanently from repository. It's very, very important. Secondly, these paper IDs, if you delete by any chance like this, you will not be able to get back those documents. All that you have to do at that point of time is, if you have class ID, share it with the administrator. Administrator will send an email to TII support and we can get it retrieved. And the deleted documents can be retrieved back. So these things can be done along with this Turnitin account, what is subscribed by VTU for all the institutions from the consortium. If you want to have a walkover about it, if you have any questions about it, always go on top of the page. There is something called as right hand side help section is there. When you click on this help section, you will be able to get complete guides about all those things. So if you click on Turnitin website, you will be able to see administrator, instructor, and student. So whichever is feasible for you, you can click on that and go through all the user guides accordingly. As simple as that. So you will be able to do this at any point of time. If any of your classes is not required and if you don't use it at any point of time, you can click on delete and remove it accordingly at any point of time. So if I don't want this, I'll remove it right now. The whole class gets evaded. So please have an idea about it. Please go to help section also. The help section will have multiple categories. If you don't know something, go to the search option. So for example, bibliography. I don't know anything about bibliography. I'll type bibliography here, or what bibliography content is all about. It will show you all those details. Very simple, very easy, and very useful. So, any questions, I'll keep the forum open for you all. Please feel free to open up and ask any questions that you want to ask. No questions at all?
Sir,
Yes, Bhaskar sir.
you can see chat box. One question is there. Please
All
explain, sir.
right, let me just
Yeah, yeah.
open the chat box. Is software capable of catching synonyms, words used after copying the content to avoid? So just changing the synonyms, it will only one word doesn't reflect. Rest all meaning will be there. HOD, so ma'am. So any point of time, synonyms will be not be catched because there is different ways of writing. So paraphrasing cannot be shown, but if you have used synonyms, except that word, everything else will be shown as similarity. That feasibility is there. Can we combine this with existing Google Classroom? Right now, the Google Classroom integrations is not available, but you can integrate with Moodle, Blackboard, Sakai, and other things. Right now, Google Classroom is still not enabled due to privacy issues. We have still not done that. Yeah.
Hello, sir. I wanted to ask you a
Yes,
question.
Rashna.
Sir, if a student wants to check the plagiarism by themselves,
Yes.
should the faculty give the access, or
Yes.
can we
Faculty has
just?
to give the access, or you should go to library and create one as an instructor account from administrator and take that access. Better you approach your faculty. That is the best way.
Okay, sir. So, another doubt.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, if we submit the document for plagiarism checking in this Turnitin application,
Mm-hmm.
won't it save our documents in its server
No, that's
and
why
when
I
we
said
check?
no. No repository has to be selected. The
Oh,
moment you select no repository, none of your documents will be saved in cloud. If you select standard repository, only then it will be saved in cloud.
okay, okay. Thank you, sir.
Okay, no worries. Any more questions? Paraphrase items, is it useful to find? Paraphrasing, see, the paraphrasing, I cannot show it as similarity. The reason behind it is one person will say 1 plus 9 is 10. The other person might say that I also got 10, but my calculation is 5 plus 5 is 10. But there might be one more person, 7 plus 3. So there is different ways of narrating the things. So that cannot be plagiarism most of the time. But see, if you've taken idea from someone else, if you're honest enough, kindly acknowledge it. Yes, this is what I got it from. But if you think that there is no other option, I have to paraphrase it, then that is not to be considered. But if you have copied from someone, you know that, which I kindly acknowledge. So that's why I've been saying it's very tricky in paraphrasing. A lot of the cases that happens. So please keep that in mind. Yeah. Anything else?
Sir, see text box, please.
Okay. Is this software using AI based algorithm to spot plagiarism? Yeah, we use AI and ML. Some more options are going to come up. There's a lot of feedback mechanisms. That's how that has been working on. There are integrations with. There is another tool called Gradescope, which is getting integrated with. So you can do dynamic rubricing, any kind of pen and paper grading. All those things can be done. Yeah, that some more has to be implemented. Actually, so Shaker Suma, hello. Yeah, is there any question, Shaker Suma?
Sir,
Yes, sir.
so any video lecture, sir,
I
demonstration
shall
how to
share.
use.
I think I don't know whether you guys have recorded this session or not, but yeah, if nothing is there, I'll share a video. I'll share all the user guides. I'll share all the links that you can look into. If there is anything, please feel free to approach me at any point of time. This is my whole team that takes care of Turnitin, and this is my mail ID. You can feel free to reach out to my mail. And please note one, Bhaskar sir, any kind of request for deletion should come from you only. No one else can take it up.
I, I know, sir, that information I know.
Absolutely. That's all. Anything else? If not, we can wind up accordingly.
Dear pots, dear potsmen, any questions, queries, that please forward me. Sir, Akshay sir, please see check box. Two more questions there. One second.
One second. If I'm using mathematical formula, it is plagiarism. No, not at all, Dr. Subraj. So mathematical formulas will not be shown much of cases as similarity. But yeah, if there is any block diagrams, if there is any graphs, that will be shown as similarity, especially if it is with related to y-axis, x-axis only then. That's one thing, yeah. Does using synonyms for multiple words in paragraph bypass the plagiarism check? I can't tell that way it is bypassing, but yeah, you if you're rewriting the sentence on your own way, that might be using synonyms or that might be using any other paraphrasing tools, then yes, it will not be able to be checked. The reason behind it is idea and concepts can be different from every user. So the way it is explained, it's all about that. The way it is basically literature to literature matching. So only with that respect, it will be able to capture. Is there any option for self-plagiarism? Oh, that's a great question. Thanks for asking this, Mr. Raja. So self-plagiarism is a big debating topic these days because UGC says self-plagiarism is also considered as plagiarism. So, but in Indian context, if we are writing any thesis, we need to have 2 or 3 publications under our name. Only then we will be allowed to write theses. But what we used to do is we used to copy the entire article and place it as a chapter in our thesis. Right now you can't do it. If you do it, it is considered as self-plagiarism. To avoid it, you can do self-citation and state that this cannot be avoided because this is my research work. Also, this is my, especially text cannot be the same. If you want to replace it by some other way, is like if the tabs, I mean tabular columns or some research activity has been done, that can be justified by self-citations. Anything else? Does this web app also check with all the search engines across web? Yes, absolutely. Everything. Online web tools, publications, published archived content, Wikipedia, all these kinds of whatever. Shodhganga also, Indian repositories of theses, and also Crossref databases, which is one of the primary databases. No one has access to Crossref except Turnitin. So it's an exclusive partnership with Turnitin. About 50 million journals are there in that. Journal articles are there in that. That carries all this STM journals. So that's why it is very important. So yeah, Turnitin has that access. By mistake, I've used standard repository instead of no repo. Initially, it was 23, now it's 100. What is the solution? I don't have paper submission ID. Mr. Manjunath, you can approach Bhaskar sir, and next to your name, login name, there will be something called as instructor ID. First, Bhaskar sir has to send an email to retrieval of documents. Once all the documents is retrieved, you can pick up all the paper IDs and share it to him again and get it deleted. So first is retrieval using your instructor ID, which is available at the admin account. Once everything is retrieved, you can get it deleted by looking at the submission ID. If we do second time for the same document, will it be the same similar? No, you have to choose no repository so that it will not capture your previous publications, previous check. Yeah. Anything else? Any more questions? So start using it. Until unless you use it, you will not have any understanding about it. Once you start using it, you will get a lot of questions. You will have a better understanding. So you can see better results. Okay, if is custom feature available for this web application to overcome the bypass of? No, there's nothing like such. There's no custom features or things like that to overcome plagiarism check. I can't say there is anything like such. If you have copied, it is copied. If it is rewritten, it is rewritten. If it has to be cited, it has to be cited. Still, if there is similarity that is shown, then it has to be considered as plagiarism. So that's why this tool will help you to identify what are the relative texts, and you have to rewrite, correct yourself. Then only you will be safe. That's very important. Okay. If there's anything else, please feel free to write an email. Bhaskar sir, thank you so much for all your efforts and other things. If there is anything, I can stay back. If not, we can wind up accordingly.
Thank you very much, sir. You
My
have
pleasure.
valuable decision. I will give feedback.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. Stay safe.
Hello, Sneh madam. Hello, Sneh madam. Now, vote of thanks. Myself, Bhaskar, Chief Librarian, Rajarajeshwari College of Engineering, Bangalore. Good afternoon to one and all. Try it is a blessed day for us because we are all fortunate to have Mr. Akshay Prasanna, Senior Consultant. Turnitin is our resource person for this wonderful and resourceful of webinar on effective utilization of VTO Consortium, Turnitin Plagiarism Original Online Check software using RRCE. It is my pleasant duty to thank our Rajarajeshwari College of Engineering management for giving permission to organize this resourceful webinar. It is my foremost duty to express my sincere thanks to our beloved principal, Dr. T. Chandrasekhar sir, for his valuable guide and motivation. I thanks to people behind the organization of this wonderful webinar, Season 2, Turnitin, resourceful and a renewed resource person, Akshay Prasanna sir, which are our respected Dean, Sir, Dr. Balakrishna sir, ISA HOD, Dr. Amudara sir, MC HOD, Dr. Neha Singhal, and all the department HODs for their efforts. It is my present duty to thank the resourceful resource person, Mr. Akshay Prasanna, Senior Consultant, Turnitin for sharing his excellent knowledge and wonderful experience for usage of Turnitin original check software. He has explained how to use the Turnitin software usefully and effectively to learn new things and acquire knowledge on highest order. I strongly believe that this session will be help us to set up the enable users to more users the Turnitin access in our campuses and extend our knowledge of staff and the student community. Thank you very much, sir. I thank all the faculty members who are coordinating with us in organizing this good webinar session for the betterment of research scholars, faculty, and students. I thank all the participants for their active participants. Thank you, one and all. All of you wait for some minutes. We will share the feedback links. Thank you. Thank you, one and all.